I will say 2 words, and without thinking, tell me the first things that come into your mind. Commercial breaks. Okay, so you thought about McDonald's, beauty care, wash pods, something about preparing for your cremation, and that's what televised airwaves are all about. One big pile of advertisements with some below okay shows attached. Let's be real though, you've forgotten what the commercial break is. You watch Disney Plus or YouTube with adblock. Now's the time to turn that shit off. But occasionally, way past the time mummies tucked you into bed, through thinner airwaves on lower budget channels, non-profit PSAs will beam through the filters of the RGBT meshes to spread a message to install a society's new collective thoughts that's in their best interest. Want to get a message across? Make a PSA. Want to make a country that's led by a dictatorship? Make a PSA. And Japanese PSAs are no different. How fitting that I have a katana for this. I actually got it now. I did the thing! I do not like how I slammed the tsuba against the scabbard. Oops. Can you tell I'm a weeb?
I have a katana collection.
Oh yeah, and I totally got the idea for this video from Sakura Stardust. You should definitely watch the Japanese iceberg she's made. There's actually a trove worth spelunking through. Public service announcements, otherwise known as PSAs, are generally made with non-profit motives.
You have so many reasons to protect your forest.
Usually made by a county or mayor housing. I mean, I don't know, just look it up. This is the boring part of the video. But that's exactly it. No one gives a toss about a woman saying drink driving is bad. I was in the middle of the 36th season of The Walking Dead. Put that shit back on now. Because it doesn't capture your attention, you don't really take anything from it. To you, it's another product being sold.
This is epic.
So, the world government had a little sleepover together and decided that the televised television will broadcast a woman having her face spoiled in a kitchen, a British bowling ball to fall 4 stories from a ladder, and those truth anti-vaping commercials.
It's a trap.
Get fuck away from me. And in Japan, they take the cake. The cake is so high in calories, I mean, I'd have a heart attack. I feel a heart attack. Japan has always been an anomaly of horror to me. Somehow if they do anything horror-wise the same as the West, it is just 10 times freakier to me. Hidden message Easter eggs, nuanced subject matter that is sometimes juxtaposed by a bright art style, like Perfect Blue. You should watch that. Every YouTuber's told you to watch it at this point. Why haven't you watched Perfect Blue? And cutscenes that go on for over an hour. It's definitely a prescribed case of place Japan, but I have a hypothesis, my fellow students of the internet. Why is Japan scary? Viewing as a Western non-native speaker, messaging and eerie occurrences are muddied through the barriers of language, followed by cultures and their histories being so different, they are seen as unusual and alien, enhancing the fear of the unknown on non-speakers. And nothing is more spine-shivering to come out of the world than the Japanese uttering the words, Nihongo jouzo desu ne. The most notorious advertising company in Japan which airs them is AC Japan. AC standing for Assassin's Creed. And they have been going for years. And they have different types of mission statements. One of them is to, and I quote, make money, fuck bitches. No, I'm kidding. Create advertisements based on the social issues common to much of the public and uses mass media throughout Japan to communicate the messages. These themes should be non-political, non-religious, non-sectoral, and non-commercial, as well as being top priority issues for the Japanese people. Because, you know, some countries in the world actually care for the people who make up the country. Their first commercial from 1972 asks you, please don't throw the shiggy on the railway. You should Wu-Tang that shit. AC Japan is still around today, broadcasting messages such as, do unto others which you want to unto yourself or something, or do not scam your friend out of that rare Charizard card they have, or something. And generally, any PSA in the world can be very fucking guttural. Though like any other stations in their PSAs, AC Japan's, it has some range. To yeah? I mean, the context is that it's from Japan, So, is it really weird? Listen, when was the last time you got scared by a Western product? Let me know in the comments below. I'm waiting. Yes, I know, raising gas prices by Shell is very scary to me too. Even the older ones are so unsettling. Even the ones, you know, in general tone are so innocent. It's unsettling that the fact that the footage quality is so dated, it just adds to the uncanniness. Despite in modern day, this effect is usually an aesthetical crutch to something like analog horror. Plot twist, this is real life. And these videos are real, just like my YouTube subscribers. Not botted. Hanashite mite is an interesting one. I love how the first comment on this video is literally just,
"This is a certified hood classic."
And on the must not search wiki of Japan, it's classed as a level 1 depression. What upgrades do you get at level 5? What's the best type of min-max? Okay, jokes aside.
私の心の小さな扉 One, two, three, four, one, two, three, four あなた叩いた
It shows a face assembled from something like a cutout from a magazine, almost as if the person isn't truly themselves. And throughout the video, you can see the face normally frown. The colors become monochromatic, but when they go to smile, they receive help from a hand. It's as if they're forcing themselves to construct this facade that things are really okay, when they're not. Followed by text saying, if you're having a bad time, try to talk, ending with a phone number for a suicide hotline. It's pretty good messaging, and not surprising, it's made by a film student with all its nuances. The song on this is, I have to read this actually. Yarare chatta onanoko. In English, the girl who got hit / killed, depending on how weaved out your Japanese is. And the translated lyrics are seeming of that of someone describing a first-person view of dying, like the light, the smell, the inevitable countdown, and the shortcut that's been found, and that it's taken them somewhere. A euphemism for, how do I say this without YouTube taking this video to the Matrix? Omae wa shinderu, jisatsu suru. Oh, here's an oldie for you pyrocynical heads out there. Game ended themselves.
Game ended.
This cartoon is a seemingly innocent little thing, you know, something to teach some kid a little fucking itadaki manners, with phrases like, thank you, good evening, good morning. So, what's the problem?
Sendai still dazed
36-foot waves were relentless.
from buildings crashed to the ground. As 10 kilometers inland.
What's the correlation? As a result of 2011's Tohoku earthquake and Fukushima's nuclear meltdown incident, a handful of companies took the commercials off the air, being replaced with AC Japan's PSAs. Fittingly, in an attempt to keep a country's morale up and the people together in a trying time. One of these video messages was the greetings are magic. Now, here's the thing, you have a decent amount of a country's people whose homes are now either being swept away or becoming a cousin of the elephant's foot. They're essentially refugees, and these poor people, they're probably just sat in some safe house just watching the TV for a news broadcast or any update on the situation so they know what they can even do at this point. They've lost a lot of things. For then the news to suddenly cut to an upbeat, bright animation reminding you to say sayonara. The thing is, this segment was made a year prior, and it was just on repeat during the period when the commercials were pulled. The animation itself is fine, it's just the timing was so bad. It became a target to many Japanese people, sending complaints to AC Japan, and it even caught the stinky eye of Wall Street Journal. I would read this article, however, I'm not paying $1 to read some words. Can't read. I'm not even surprised that it got so big. Every country has a commercial that everyone remembers. In the UK, all I can think of is that fat Italian that tells me to go compare. Okay, Tony Soprano, compare my nuts. Rationally, the internet does what it does best. Collectively meme the shit out of everything. Making music remixes with the hook of pon pon pon, which also apparently pop 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 pon became a buzzword in Japan. Based? To eventually making something that is so reminiscent of YouTube poops. And even drawing fan art, well, hate art, or turned into a Renaissance painting. If you so happen to despise me, feel free to send me hate art of me being punched at Ramsker on Instagram. Because I love free art, for the high price of your valuable time. And in the time of need, internet denizens got together, devised a plan, and did absolutely nothing except make a few funnies. And in the end, it's a poetic story. A country torn by an earthquake / tsunami, yet brought together again at the expense of a children's cartoon, with the initial message being, the more we say hi, the more we can make friends. So in a way, the commercial kind of did what it was aimed at doing, just not the way it wanted to. And that is information. I kid you not, I got that information from Know Your Meme. Know Your Meme, your reliable source of funnies and natural disasters. Alright guys, this one's scary. You ever watch Wendigoon? Alright, this is it. Shuroi Hitogata. White people. I know. This fucking abomination was first brought to attention around the early 90s. Shuroi Hitogata was on the table of discussion on the internet's 2chan, yeah, like 4chan, coming from the thread Weird Commercials. And where a poster recalls, it's a commercial in which two monochrome humans blink alternately. It actually began airing late at night, with a myriad of users chiming in with about how there was a terribly scary commercial, and it's been memorable for a long time. Two white humanoids are drawn on a black background, and the sound of can keeps ringing. That's onomatopoeia for like a ding ding noise, you know, like ding ding ding, ring ding ding, you know, like Hector Salamanca. Okay, so basically it was a PSA with the setting of train tracks. With two white figures accompanied by the sound of a stoplight, blinking every second, with a piece of text appearing stating that every 2 seconds, someone dies in the world. This has been an AC Japan PSA. What'd you learn today, guys? Every 2 seconds, 4 people die. Listen, class, I know we got algebra today, but did you know? Every second, 2 people die. Hey, go brag to your parents that you learned from it today. And with every 2 tonal pings, one of the figures disappear. Generally a symbol for loss of life. On the surface level, this is not much of a PSA, it's more of a thought, you know, to make you think, to make you cherish life more. The value of life is so fragile. To understand and achieve a sense of gratitude, you know, for just existing. Something like that. I don't know, guys, is it gay to appreciate the things you have? This originally aired in the early 90s, transmitted late at night. Granted, this alone could be perceived as some made-up internet horror, but that was likely because the original was infamous enough in Japan that they went ahead and made plenty of recreations. Holy shit, there's a lot. Oh, that, you know, even the one that I showed you was even a recreation. Actually, it is a part of the lost media genre. And the only proof that this ever exists or even happened is source, trust me bro. Now the weird thing about this is, some recreations have the AC Japan splash screen at the end, so there must be some sort of connection here. There isn't much weight to confirm the existence of an original. Not only are the supposed timeframes of sightings inconsistent, AC Japan themselves have even denied airing this, or anything similar to Hitogata. I don't even know how the conclusion of AC Japan ever making this came to be fair. I don't even think there was a mention of it. It was definitely like a Chinese whisper sort of rumor. I don't even know how the initial conclusion of AC Japan, what the owners of it came to be, though I can't say I'm surprised that people made the mistake of that, considering that their other works are kind of equal in taste. Oh, it's, you know, it's like it's got the vibe of PSA. AC Japan must have made it. Or, you know, on the same level of the weirdness. There was even one channel that claimed that they found the original by the name of Tokyo Max Animation Copyright. Upon going onto their portfolio, we can see that their channel was bustling with Hindi anime. What? And GTA 6 news videos.
Do not understand.
I do. I understood that reference.
And with conviction, I can say that this commercial may have existed as a very bad, smoky, contorted memory of something that the original poster may have seen. Unfortunately, the original thread of weird commercials is lost with only a fragment of the erased origins remaining from 1999, the earliest proof. There is a more extensive discussion archived from 2004. Generally, most of the posts just state, oh yeah, I remember too. As for the testimonies of other people's sightings, the only thing I can rationalize about it is that it's more of like a Mandela effect sort of experience. Or either these testimonies were either hoax or false countings. After all, no one lies on the internet. They just make mistakes. All we have visually are just fan interpretations from the text that we have, and interpretations from the already existing fan interpretations. Following that, a video was uploaded 3 years ago, compiling a bunch of commercials that were remotely similar to Hitogata, accompanied by visual stimuli of a train, humanoid silhouette-like figures, messages on screen, all of that in co-op mode with the sound of that droning stoplight. Despite all that. The messaging has nothing to do with trains. No mention of suicide by train. Just, in general, every 2 seconds a person dies. It's genius because I watched a video recently that's completely irrelevant to this topic, and it includes a train, and I heard that exact same fucking Hector Salamanca noise. That fucking dinging. To me now, if I ever go to Japan, it's less of a sound of, hey, there's a train coming, you know, it's a warning, we should watch out for it. It's now the sound of death to me. You can put that quote in your edgy video game, free of charge, it's okay. If these are the commercials that people have viewed years ago, it makes sense how there are so many eyewitness accounts. Just a little different with each individual's experiences and memories. I mean, if this video is truly raw and isn't edited, you can hear the same beep in the backgrounds of some of these commercials. It reminds me a lot of that one internet mystery that was on Reddit, on the subreddit, on the tip of my joystick. And it was where this guy describes that he was playing as a farmer, and he killed his wife, and he needed to hide his wife before the police found him. For some reason, it was like a weird memory he had. He went to a subreddit to ask for help to find it. Now, it could be a hoax, but other people also recognized what he was talking about. And I think it's the same thing here. All these experiences people describe are most likely just a compiled mush of just memories from years gone by.
Harvest Moon, it's just regular Harvest Moon with your wife. And midway in the game, you have an argument with your wife, and you accidentally kill her.
Plus, on the side note, AC Japan's commercials generally have a message or moral attached, something useful for your life. Hitogata just states the frequency of deaths. No immediate messaging or moral, it's an unconventional way to express a message to a broader audience. Whether it's in the realm of existence or not, doesn't matter. The grand spectacle of this urban legend has a message that is overall applicable. Life is limited, and so are your memories. Appreciate both life and the memories. Subscribe to my channel now. I'm watching you. Still red. Why isn't it grey? I watch every move you make. Thank you all for watching. I make other videos such as Fat Cry 2. I beat Pyrocynical to it. You can go watch it if you want. I don't know. Or don't. I'm not your dad. And in fashion of this video, allow me to say my goodbyes in fluent Japanese. Gochiso-sama deshita.